hear you.
Well, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to our revered speaker for today, His Grace GOPA KUMAR PRABHU. Today will be his first day, I believe, speaking on this platform. And I see he has to work on his mic. It seems he's having some challenge.
I can see you speaking, but the audio is...
Yeah, we can hear you. You cannot hear us. Maybe I'll have to use the chat to see if he can.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me, or you still cannot hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, we can hear you too, so we're good. All right. Thank you for being here, Gopal Kumar Prabhu.
Okay.
I believe today is your first day being on this platform. You're very much welcomed. I believe we will do this at the end of the Katha, where we do a brief introduction of our revered speaker. But for the meantime, he is a beloved disciple of His Holiness Kadamba Kanana Swami Maharaj, and he is speaking from South Africa, I believe. And we're very grateful to have your association, brother. And since this is your first time speaking here, my name is Sahadev Das. I am here with my big brother, Salika Prabhu. We do the hosting from time to time. And we have our beloved congregants who are like Monday through Friday, they're always here, same time, here in Srimad Bhagavatam. And usually the speakers speak for as long as they want to, but usually like between 45 minutes, 1 hour. And if there is enough time, devotees may ask questions or share their reflections. The setting is just like a temple room setting. So you speak the sloka and read the translation and purport, and you give your own insights and realizations on the text. And that is just what we do. So we'll put the verse on the screen, and then you may start speaking. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Gopal Kumar Prabhu, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you yet.
You cannot hear me.
Okay, we can hear you now.
Yeah, it's like my connection is a little bit poor. I don't know what's going on. So must I start speaking now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Hare Krishna?
Hare Krishna.
Okay. So must I start speaking? Or like I wasn't hearing what you were saying.
Yes, so I said you may start speaking. We have the
Okay.
screen, if you can see the screen.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, I'll start by singing Jai Radha Madhava just for 1 minute or less. Jai Radha Madhava Puja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Puja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Puja Bihari Jai Girivajana Brajajanarayana Yachudanandana Brajajanarayana Yachudanandana Brajajanarayana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 7th chapter, text 20 to 21. Entitled Further Inquiries by Vidura. So the sloka says, Durapahi alpa tapasa seva vaikunta vatamasu yatro Pagate Nityam Deva Devo Janadana. Translation: person whose authorities is meager can hardly obtain the service of the pure devotees who are progressive on the path back to Godhead, to the kingdom of Godhead. The Vakuntas, pure devotees, engage 100% in glorifying the Supreme Lord, who is the Lord of the demigods and the controller of all living entities. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The path of liberation, as recommended by all authorities, is to serve the Mahatma, transcendentalists. As far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, the Mahatmas are the pure devotees who are on the path and who always chant and hear the glories of the Lord, rather than talk of dry, profitless philosophy. This system of association has been recommended since time immemorial. But in this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, it is especially recommended by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even if one has no assets of favorable austerity, if he nevertheless takes shelter of the Mahatmas who are engaged in the chanting and hearing of glories of the Lord, he is sure to make progress on the path back home, back to Godhead. And then text 21. Shrestha Gre Mahat Adini Savakarani Ini Anu Gramat Debyo Virajan Udrita Dam Anu Pravishad Vibhu. And then translation. After creating the total material energy, the Mahatattva, and thereby manifesting the gigantic universal form with sense and sense organs, the Supreme Lord entered within it. And then purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Fully satisfied by the answer of the sages, Maitreya, of the sage Maitreya, Vidura wanted to understand the remaining portion of the creative function of the Lord. And he took the clue from the previous topics. Om Magyana Timirandasya Jnana Jana Shalakaya Chakshur Milatamyena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Vanchakalpa Darbhyasya Kripa Sidhu Bhyevacha Patitana Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Pada Krishna Krishna Vatali Smati Kanam Swami Niti Namini Namo Vishnu Pada Krishna Krishna Mati Guru Das Swami Namini Namo Vishnu Pada Krishna Krishna Vatali Shimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pajana Vishesha Shinavati Pachata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sarveda Tradada Raswasati Gura Bhagaveda. So in Kali Yuga, it is almost impossible to perform pure austerities, especially for attaining the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, in this verse, it is recommended that one who's interested in like perfection, because this human body or form of life is meant for perfection, austerities. Austerities are meant for nothing else but to attain perfection. Perfection means going back to one's original identity, to understand that I'm nothing but the eternal servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in previous ages, austerities were easily performed. There were not so many disturbances. When one had a desire to become perfect, you could go to a forest, meditate, perform bhajan. But in this age, that's also almost impossible. You just go to the forest and try to meditate for like 30 minutes, 1 hour. If you go maybe like to a day meditating, then you will find like journalists, newspaper people, TV people trying to inquire, what is it that you are doing? How does it feel? Back in the day, such disturbances were not there. One was respected. When one takes into a path of self-realization, everyone understood what was the purpose of his whatever he was doing. They understood that this is a sentient person, therefore one must not try to disturb. So now to preach, you have to live in cities, you have to live in, especially in Krishna, this movement, Krishna consciousness is meant for preaching. Harinam Sankirtan movement, which is meant for preaching. The best way to preach is to go where the people are. Now they live in the cities. A sentient person can live anywhere. It is said that actually, like, ignorant people love cities. Saintly people love going to the forest, secluded places, and perform meditation or whatever is needed for self-realization. But they say a Krishna conscious person can live anywhere. It's transcendental to all the modes of material nature. Therefore, he can live in a city and propagate the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada. This philosophy can only be understood by one who's disgusted by the material world. When you're still not disgusted by the material world, it's impossible to become a Vaishnava. If you still think there's some happiness in the material world, you cannot be a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava is the one who understands there's nothing for me in this material world. Actually, Prabhupada said many times, this world is not for gentlemen. So when one understands actually that I'm a spirit soul, therefore I have no connection with material nature. Material nature cannot satisfy my longings of relationship. The relationship in the material world is only meant for sense gratification. If you're not good to someone or you don't do what they want, then you're considered an enemy. If they feel like they can find some pleasure in you, then you are considered a friend. So when one understands this, that whatever I do in the material world has no eternal result, though I'm an eternal spark, eternal part and parcel of the supreme personality of Godhead. So Krishna is so merciful that even though he's not here, but he gives all the potency for one who's having a desire to go back home to his servants, his devotees. Therefore, one who takes association of his servants automatically gets a credit to go back home. It is not possible for one to go back home simply by speculations, thinking if I do this and that, I'll become self-realized and therefore I'll qualify to go back home, back to Godhead. But we understand that simply by serving devotees or associating with devotees, it's just like one who when you take an iron and put it in fire, it gets all the qualities of fire. In Krishna consciousness, in this movement, Prabhupada gave all the potencies to his disciples. His disciples have full potency to do everything that Prabhupada did. Whoever associates with these devotees get the same potency. It doesn't become less and less. Actually, the more you give this potency, the more you get. But this potency, having this potency doesn't mean that free will is taken away. Everyone in this movement has the potency to do exactly what Prabhupada did. But the problem is what we call free will. Free will allows you to do whatever you want, even though knowledge might be there. Actually, one who doesn't act according to knowledge is not considered to have knowledge. One who has knowledge acts accordingly. For instance, if one has knowledge that I'm not this body, then even his activities, his speech, everything he does is in line with that knowledge. If one thinks I'm not this body, but at the same time, act as if I'm this body, therefore that person is considered not to have knowledge, even though the philosophy might be there.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I'm sorry to distract you. Is it possible to turn on your camera? We cannot see your image.
Actually, it says the camera is on. It's just like, I don't know why it's showing black.
Yeah. Okay. All right. If that is the case, you may continue speaking.
Can you see me?
We cannot see you, but we can hear you.
I have no idea how to operate this thing. It seems like the camera is on.
Well, okay. We saw you briefly, and then you went away.
Okay. I don't feel comfortable speaking like nobody sees me. Okay, it's okay. I'll carry on talking.
Yeah, hearing is more important. So okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So simply by wearing tilak and wearing dhoti, neck beads, that doesn't make you a Vaishnava. Being a Vaishnava means understanding the philosophy and acting accordingly. One can be a heavy scholar, know everything that's written in Shastra, but if action is not in line with that, then such person is to be considered ignorant, even though the philosophy might be very high. So a Vaishnava has an action which is everything he acts is based on compassion to all other living entities. When you have compassion on all other living entities, the only action is helping others. Everything you do to make yourself perfect and helping others come to the level of self-realization. So we're not trying to make the world a better place. The world is meant for suffering. That's what it's designed for. We're not interested in making the world a better place, but we're interested in helping jivas get out of this miserable situation. So we are so fortunate that Prabhupada wrote so many books. He gave us everything we need, but we're not taking advantage. If we take advantage of what Prabhupada gave us and follow everything Prabhupada gave us accordingly, then we attain perfection. Perfection means that one acts only for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The body is belonging to the one who maintains it. And our bodies are maintained by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, using our bodies for our own pleasures, that's considered an act of violence. Violence means imposing your own desires on someone's expense. So we don't know how to make bodies. We don't know how to maintain bodies, but only Krishna maintains the bodies. Therefore, the bodies are meant for his pleasure. We are supposed to utilize this body only for the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bring children to the world, engage in devotional service in every way, according to how one is instructed by Guru. Whatever Guru says, that's what Krishna wants. Anything that Guru doesn't say, it's my own desires. So when I impose my own desires on a property that's not mine, that's simply an act of violence. Prabhupada started this movement for one purpose only. His motive was to help souls, jivas, get out of this material world. So when one is a member of ISKCON, that should be the only activity pushing Prabhupada's mission through Harinam Sankirtan. Harinam Sankirtan simply means that you understand also that it takes gallons of blood to bring someone to Krishna consciousness. So everyone you encounter in ISKCON, it's your duty to make sure that they feel at home. So when you understand that I was like deep in miserable position, but through the mercy of Prabhupada and his disciples and his followers, now I'm here, understand the truth as it is. Why should I be acting like a fool? When you're given something that can help you, that can save you from drowning, and still you engage yourself in activities that keep you on more drowning, then you are to be considered unfortunate. An intelligent person takes what's useful and use it for the purpose it's meant for. This ISKCON movement is meant for those who are intelligent to understand. I've been trapped in this cycle of birth and death since time immemorial. When am I getting out? All these desires I have been there since time immemorial. I've been thinking, I'm doing this for the last time, life, birth after birth. These desires will never go away, and as long as one is in this material world, desires will always come and go. The duty of the mind is to reject and accept. But when one is intelligent, understand that this is not my first birth. I've been in this material world in and out, birth after birth. So therefore, since I'm having this opportunity, I'm given such an opportunity, so many books to guide me, so many devotees to help me out. Therefore, I must take advantage and make sure that this is the last birth. Sometimes we say we don't care where we go next. As long as Krishna, I'll just go wherever Krishna wants me. But in ISKCON, it's so clear where Krishna wants us. Like I said, whatever a guru says, that's what Krishna wants. So in ISKCON, Krishna wants us back home, back to Godhead. That's what Prabhupada told us. Every member of ISKCON knows where Krishna wants us. So there's no question, there's no excuse of saying I want to go wherever Krishna wants. Because Prabhupada made it clear that we must go back home, back to God. The desire of an intelligent person is never to repeat the same thing ever again, as long as if the activity entangles them more and more in material suffering. I've given my life to so many activities, so many desires. At least Krishna allow me to give this one lifetime to you. Just one lifetime to you. Such a person who begs like that is to be considered intelligent and taking advantage of the situation laid out for us by Prabhupada. So this verse tells us that even though our austerities are not so great, but we can attain whatever is attained by one who performs austerities simply by associating with pure devotees who are always engaged in hearing and chanting the glories of the holy names of the Lord. We're having a program, wake up in the morning, look at the deity form of the Lord. If we do this every day, we become attached. And when we are attached to the form of the Lord, the results will be chanting more and more. If we engage in waking up every day, seeing the deity form of the Lord, but the taste of chanting doesn't develop, it means that we're only doing this for show. There's no understanding that this is meant for us to, the first thing you see in the morning is the deity form of the Lord. Therefore, your whole day should be based on engaging in the activities that brings you closer and closer to the Lord. So when you perform such activities that bring you closer to the Lord, not to wake up and look around, who's here, who's not there. Why is this person not attending? Why is that person not attending? And understanding that this is meant for my own advancement. One should grow. It's called a movement because one keeps moving forward. If one has been here for 40, 30 years, 50 years, and still satisfied by 16 rounds, it means that something is wrong. One should understand that the number of rounds must keep increasing. If this doesn't happen, it means that the service towards devotees is not there. Because when you serve devotees who are attached to the holy name, one becomes attached to the holy name. So our austerities, it simply means we serve devotees. We take association of devotees and serve them in whatever opportunity we get. At this time where we are, Prabhupada's disciples are living one by one. As time goes on, we won't be having any of Prabhupada's disciples. So one should utilize this time and make sure that I must cling myself, get myself attached to at least one of Prabhupada's disciples, serve them. That way you get direct potency gave to the disciples by Prabhupada himself. And when the desire is in line, one will advance very quickly. Advancement is seen by preaching. Prabhupada says in the book, Preaching is the Essence, that even a great personality, a highly advanced devotee, if he's not preaching, his bhajan is incomplete. So one who wants to complete bhajan, at least try to preach at least one person a year. You don't have to go out preaching every day. That's not for everyone. But we have people all around us. What do we talk about when we meet these people? What kind of topics do we engage ourselves with? when we're meeting people, friends, or relatives. If one cannot preach by word, one can preach by example. That's very easy, preaching by example. When friends and family see that one doesn't engage in idle talks that have no profit, and is a well-wisher for everyone, friends and family become attracted. And when they're attracted, then they start asking questions. That's when the opportunity to preach comes. But if one has this opportunity to make a big difference in the world and still has no interest but act in a way that not even a closest friend or family can be attracted. So we have to understand that most of our advancement in Krishna consciousness comes from association. Even faith in the holy name or anything in Shastra only comes through association. Pure devotees are so potent that even by looking at a person, they can give Sukriti. So we don't wait for Vaishnavas to look at us. We take opportunity and serve them. That way we get Sukriti directly from devotees. When we please devotees, Krishna automatically is pleased. We don't try to jump over devotees, thinking we'll please Krishna directly. Krishna says, those who say they're my devotees, they're not my devotees. But those who are devoted to my devotees are my actual devotees. So when one understands that out of millions and hundreds of thousands of those who desire for perfection, only one gets to know Krishna for who he is. So a sane person is always hoping and praying and having a strong desire that, please, Krishna, I want to be that one. I don't want to fall into the millions and hundreds of thousands of others who don't know you for who you are. It doesn't matter. There's no discrimination where you were born, what kind of a body you have, what is the status of your family. That means nothing. Anyone can become a great personality. So simply by coming in contact with the object of love, who is Krishna, one can change the whole world through love by helping others get out of the material world. So I see my connection is like on data, and then the data is finishing. Like I was supposed to use the Wi-Fi. Just excuse me for a moment to use the Wi-Fi.
Oh, GOPA, I can bring some data there for you, like a hotspot.
Please do. Please do.
Okay, just hang on.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. So we have this great fortune that actually the fact is that every person who gets an opportunity to come in contact with Krishna consciousness through ISKCON is not an ordinary person, or through any sampradaya that's in like or bona fide sampradaya. In Kali Yuga, it's very hard, very difficult to become a devotee. But if someone, an ordinary person, but somehow, even though we're so fortunate, the desire to take advantage of this process, it's very rare for one to have it. Because in Kali Yuga, everyone is attracted to whatever is going on around. and one wants to be part of the whole running around without knowing where the destination is. We have created such fast cars. We fly everywhere very fast, but no one knows where the destination is. But the same person understands the real destination is to go back home, back to God. If this is understood, and when one acts accordingly, such a person is to be considered successful. So we need to understand that there's no assurance of what kind of bath I'll be taking next. Of course, we take prashad. There's a high percentage that we might take bath as humans, but who knows what kind of life we'll be having. One might be very unfortunate to be born in a very rich family where he thinks I have everything I need. Who cares about spirituality? Or one is born in a suffering position where he only thinks about his suffering. So now we have this opportunity. Why don't we take advantage? We're supposed to be taking advantage of this process and go back home, back to God. So Krishna created all this material universe. And he didn't just create it and leave it alone. He entered into it as a super soul in everyone's living in his heart. Just to have. He's situated in everyone's heart and waiting and waiting. When are you going to turn towards me? When are you going to give up this nonsense of running around without knowing the destination? When are you coming home so we can dance together? So we can play together? But the jiva is not interested, even though the opportunity is laid out in front of him. There's no desire. Let me go back home. Let me cut off this entanglement and go back home. So one should understand this position that I'm so fortunate out of billions of people in this world. I'm so fortunate that I met a devotee, an associate of Prabhupada. Let me take advantage.
You must go to Wi-Fi.
Hey, just one moment, let me connect to data, because the Wi-Fi keeps on cutting. What's the name?
Huawei P30.
It's not appearing here.
Okay, it won't appear now.
Because it's forcing to connect with data, and my data is failing. I don't have data.
If you looked at Wi-Fi, you must click on Wi-Fi.
Huawei P30.
Yeah.
And your password?
Prabhupada, all capitals 108.
All capitals. Just one moment. Please forgive me for this. One wait. It says I'm unable to join.
Try again. Prabhupada, all capitals 108.
Prabhupada. Yeah, it's trying to connect. Let's see. Yeah, it's connected. Thank you, Mataji. Please forgive me for this poor thing process. So when one is grateful, because what is happening in the spiritual world is that all living entities in the spiritual world, they're always going out of their way to please Krishna as Krishna wants to be pleased. That's the only business in the spiritual world. pleasing Krishna according to how Krishna wants to be pleased. So where does that start in its material world? It starts by pleasing Guru according to how Guru wants to be pleased. Not thinking I want to serve devotees like this, I want to serve devotees like that. Sometimes with that mentality, you're trying to please devotees the way you want to please devotees and end up offending devotees. But the best way to please devotees is to please them how they want, according to how they want to be pleased. And when you please devotees the way devotees want to be pleased, then the attraction of Krishna gradually develops in one's person. And one develops good qualities where everyone is attracted to this person. His actions, these words are full of compassion. It's attractive to everyone because of associating with them, supreme attractive. So I don't know if it's okay to accept questions or comments. Thank you very much.
Well, Hare Krishna, thank you so much, GOPA KUMAR PRABHU. With all the technical difficulties, you still managed to speak. We appreciate that. Thank you so much. Dear devotees, if anyone may have questions, comments, reflections, realizations, you may want to ask question, please indicate by using the hand emoji or your physical hand, and you'll be asked to unmute to ask your question or share your reflections. And those who are new here, we welcome you all to Hare Krishna Africa. We're here Monday through Friday, same time. And you are always invited. So if there is any question, you may go ahead. Well, GOPA KUMAR PRABHU, if I may start asking one question I have. In the first place, thank you for giving us this Krishna Tattva, very inspiring and engaging at the same time. You did mention that Krishna consciousness is meant for intelligent people, which I very much agree with you. But you also said that one only does what Guru says.
Yes.
Now, I'm wondering how can that tally? If someone is intelligent and he only does what someone says, wouldn't that contradict that that particular person is intelligent, that that person is so foolish that every time he has to do something, somebody will have to tell him what to do? So if you may help contrast these two scenarios, I would really appreciate. One only does what Guru says, and at the same time, we are expected to be intelligent. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Intelligence starts with understanding one's position. If one understands, that's the suffering position, and there's someone who's out of this suffering position and I need to get out, one will only accept what the one who has the way out says, because the one who has the way out is in a better position to tell someone how to get out. Of course, there are activities that are meant for keeping the body and soul together. If in case maybe someone doesn't know what to do with that, a person can approach a Shiksha Guru, or because this process of bhakti actually starts with surrender. Intelligence means giving up one's nonsense and surrender to someone who's more intelligent than him. That's what intelligence is. But when one thinks I'm intelligent, even though there's people who are intelligent than him, but he sees that I'm intelligent, I don't need someone to tell me what to do, then that person is not fully intelligent. The intelligence is not complete. We fully surrender, we fully accept what Krishna says. Actually, we don't concoct anything new. We simply repeat what Krishna says. And how do we know what Krishna says? Through what is written in Shastra and through what Guru tells us, which is in line with Shastra. and sadhu. So intelligence means I give up my nonsense and accept higher intelligence. That's what intelligence means. Intelligence doesn't mean that foolishly having some concoction that seems to be intelligence, but simply entangle one in deep illusion. That's not intelligence. Intelligence means knowing how to point out what's what's supreme intelligence, and accept it and put it into action. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Oh, of course, you're making sense a lot. Thank you for answering my question. And in answering my question, you did also say Sadhu and Shastra. So which makes my question to you and the answer kind of very much understanding to me, in the sense that if you or anyone says that one should only do what the Guru says, then to me, it means that person is not maturing, because the Guru will have to show the disciples what to do. And at some point, from the experiences and the realizations from within, that individual can also be in touch with Krishna, and Krishna will instruct that person from within. If Guru will have to tell us every time what we need to do, then the question becomes, what do we do when the Guru instructs us of something that is non-scriptural? And one may ask, why would a Guru instruct something that is not scriptural? And it's happened. And that is why we've had many gurus from different communities fall. Before they fell in public, they were already fallen in privacy, and we didn't know. And sometimes if they give false instruction and we are not intelligent enough to decipher whether what the Guru is saying is scriptural or not scriptural, then we may be wrong. That is why I'm asking the question. The answer you gave kind of satisfies me, because we are using different parameters, not just one individual, the Guru. I mean, I understand the third offense to chanting of the holy names of the Lord is to disobey the orders of the spiritual master, but at the same time, we are also asked to use the three parameters, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. So thank you for the answer you gave.
Because to explain further.
Okay.
Kiba Vipra, Kiba Nyasi, Shudra Kenanai. Jai Krishna Tatva Veda, say Guru Hai. So a Guru means one who is cognizant or knows the science of Krishna. He doesn't concord. If he concords something, he's not Guru. He might be carrying a danda, like wearing saffron, but he's not Guru. A Guru simply repeats. He doesn't give his own message. The person is not supposed to be accepted as Guru. Actually, you have a right to reject such a person. It is an offense to reject a Guru, but when he concocts his own nonsense, he's not Guru. A Guru must understand the science of Krishna and only repeat. Now, right now, I'm looking at the phone. When a child asks, "What is this?" and I say, "It's the phone." Let me say I have my own son. He asks, "What is this?" I say, "It's the phone." And he goes around telling people this is a TV. Everyone will protest. Why is he saying this is a TV? But when he repeats what I say, then such child is to be considered intelligent, even though he has no intelligence. Simply by repeating, he becomes intelligent. Because he's repeating what is said by one who's intelligent. So Guru simply means repeating only what is said by Guru and Shastra and Krishna himself, not concocting anything new for his own desires. Guru doesn't speak of his own desires, he simply repeats what Krishna says. So one, if you understand that and you have a guru, as such a guru, then you cannot have a doubt to do whatever he wants. Because you know that it's only repeating. Why would you trust someone who say, I think? We don't care about what you're thinking. We want to know what Krishna says, how things should be done. So if you understand that, then you understand guru. Actually, even yourself become guru by understanding that. Because understanding means to act accordingly. If I say something but I don't act accordingly, then it means I don't understand. The words might seem like I'm understanding, but I don't understand. Understanding will be seen in action. So that's how guru works.
Well, thank you, Gopa Kumar Prabhu. We have His Grace Shimavara Acharya Prabhu, please. You may unmute. Shimavara Acharya, are you still there? You're still muted.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Okay, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. All
Yeah.
glory to the Assembly devotees. Thank you for being here, Prabhu. We enjoy your presentation. I just have a quick comment to make because I'm driving and I will not be able to explain myself further. I'm not having a proper earphone. So, just a little comment to what the question of Sahade Prabhu. There is also a statement that one needs to understand the mind of the guru.
Yeah.
So not only that we carry out the instruction of the guru, but we also have to understand his mind. So if we understand his mind, then we go beyond just doing what he says. What about that? Hare Krishna.
So a guru, when you understand the sense of Krishna and you're a qualified guru, it means that you also understand the mind of a disciple. So trying to speak of something higher than what the disciple can understand, that's not intelligence. Such a person cannot be considered an intelligent person. You have to speak to someone according to their level of understanding, because everyone acts within their adhikari. A guru must understand the disciple's adhikari and speak accordingly. You cannot speak like, okay, I'm in this level, therefore I'll speak to my guru like this, to my disciple like this, without considering whether the disciple is in a position to understand or not. Like you said, a disciple cannot understand the mind of a guru, but the guru has to bring himself to the level of a disciple and speak to him accordingly. Then such guru is really a guru. Not speaking high philosophy like just to impress a disciple, giving like ununderstandable instructions. That's not such an intelligent activity. A guru must fully understand disciples. If you look at Prabhupada, he wrote different, like lots of instructions to his disciples. To one disciple, he said this, to another disciple, say something different, because he was understanding the level of commitment and understanding of a disciple. That such kind of intelligence. And he gets through that, he gets that kind of intelligence from his own guru, who gets from his guru and his guru and his guru like that, directly towards Krishna. So we don't, if a guru speaks maybe in a way that a disciple doesn't understand, it's too high for him to understand, then a disciple must get a guru to explain. Also, having Shiksha gurus is very important. Shiksha gurus sometimes can simplify an instruction of a guru for a guru to understand, for a disciple to understand. I don't know if I'm making sense, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, it looks like you don't get me properly. In the pastime of Lord Chaitanya, are you hearing me? Am I clear?
I'm hearing you.
I hear you.
Good. Good. In the pastime of Lord Chaitanya, there are devotees who were considered that they are so much in tune with Lord Chaitanya that they carry out instructions that even not that Lord Chaitanya gave them verbally any instruction, but they understand his mind. And they simply went and do what they knew that he might wanted, not necessarily being instructed, but they understand his mind. They understand his purpose. They know what he wanted. So they're not just doing because they were told, but because they understand his mind. They know what he wanted. So that is what I'm referring to.
Yeah, when one is advanced spiritually, can come to that understanding. That
That's it.
Yeah,
Fine,
that doesn't come like by imitating or by mental speculation. It comes with growth spiritually. You know, like
Thank you.
if you have a wife, your wife doesn't have to tell you what to do. Sometimes you already understand because you're matured enough. So you're doing what a guru wants. You're not doing what you think a guru wants because you already understand the guru. The danger is like doing what you think you should be doing for a guru without considering what the guru wants.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, GOPA KUMAR Prabhu. I don't know if anybody else has something to ask, but Prabhuji, before you leave today, before we end the class today, I have one very humble but very dire request of you.
Yeah.
That is, this is my first time meeting you.
Okay.
And when I saw your name, I was very excited because your name is GOPA KUMAR Das.
Yes,
that means that you are a servant of GOPA KUMAR.
Yes, bro.
I just want you to share a brief experience of your tour to the Vaikunthas and the Krishnaloka.
That was not my tour. That was GOPA KUMAR's tour.
Your master's tour, I should say, your master's tour. I guess your master shared something with you. If you may share something that your master shared with you, with all of us, we will really appreciate.
You're talking about what my guru shared about the name.
I'm talking about GOPA KUMAR and the Brihat Bhagavad Amrita.
Yeah, like my Guru Dev didn't explain anything about GOPA KUMAR. He simply instructed me to read the Brihat Bhagavad Amrita. So I read it about 3 times.
Okay, good. So share a little bit with us, please.
Yeah, it's like a very big book.
Yeah.
I cannot finish it with like few minutes. It's like a long. But
Yes.
what I learned from a story, from the book itself, the book takes you from. I think it's very important for every Vaishnava to read this book because it's kind of like when all you know is the material world. If all you know is the material world, it's like not possible for you to desire for something else. But Brihat Bhagavad Amrita gives you a clear understanding of the material world and a clear understanding of the higher planetary system, all planetary systems, and it gives you a clear understanding of the Vaikuntha planets. So when you're having these two sides, you can compare which one you want to be in. But if all you know is there's the material world, you cannot have a desire to be in something else if you don't know what else exists there. So GOPA KUMAR explains in detail the nature of the material world, the nature of the living entities in the material world, and the nature of the living entities in the spiritual world. Then when you sober, you will fully understand actually I'm really not in a good position. We think we're in a good position because we're only comparing ourselves with whatever we're seeing around. I don't have a car. I see someone with a car, and I think progress means me having a car. I see someone having a private jet. I think progress means me having a private jet. The other realm, the spiritual realm, then you understand that all of it that you see around you is simply like stool. It's not interesting. It's all temporary. It doesn't give like eternal benefit. And when you look on the other side of the spiritual realm, understanding that the real pleasure there is real pleasure. In the material world, there's no pleasure. The pleasure you think you're having actually is just a bondage. Like for instance, if you want to enjoy pizza, you are bound by the taste of pizza. You cannot enjoy pizza beyond the taste of pizza. So pizza is binding you. But in the spiritual world, all taste, all the enjoyment is based on rasa, unlimited. It can be whatever you want it to be. So Gopa Kumar makes it clear, actually, like in a very detailed manner, that actually you are really, really in a burning house. Get out. And I think if all devotees in ISKCON were encouraged to read this book, ISKCON will be totally different. Because now we like looking at each other, oh, this person is like in this position, this one is like in this one. If I can be in that position, if I can, everything we're thinking is like based on our experience in this material world. And we're thinking another person is in a better position than me. But actually, the fact is, all of us are in the same boat. We're all suffering the same. One having a golden shackles, another one having like silver shackles, another one having like bronze shackles, doesn't mean that one of them is better. Shackles are shackles. You know. So you have to understand in this material world, everyone is in shackles. And you can understand that through studying the Briya Bhagavatamrita. So Gopa Kumar was not interested in anything in this material because he understood it for what it is. So sometimes our thinking doesn't allow us to think beyond what we say. But Briya Bhagavatamrita actually can help us with that. If we can read it over and over again, read the Bhagavad Gita and Briya Bhagavatamrita, I'm still going to read it again and again. I'm not done with it. It's so full of nectar. So I'm glad actually, I feel fortunate that my Guru Maharaj gave me this name and he gave me an instruction to read the book. I think if he explained everything about this name, I wouldn't have read it. But I'm so fortunate that he didn't explain, he just told me to read. And I read it first time and I just felt like, oh, this is nectar. I studied it again. I read it 3 times so far. And I promise you, I'm still going to read it over and over. It takes your mind off this material world. It helps you understand this material world. Yeah. So please, Prabhu, if you can, get a copy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. We can't thank you enough for sharing the synopsis of the Brihad Bhagavatamrita with us today. And we hope and wish to have your association again sometime soon. Dear devotees, we're going to humbly request you all to kindly unmute, and we follow through our routine ritual. That is, we're going to humbly ask all of you to kindly unmute, and we all chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra to express our appreciation to our revered brother, his great Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Patitanam Pavanavebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai.
Gopa Kumar Krishna Prabhu ki Jai.
Jai.
Founder Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
All glorious assembly devotees.
Hare Krishna.